Silver getting absolutely clobbered, down $2 per ounce. Gold not faring much better, down precipitously. What's the reason behind this massive sell-off today in the precious metals? We're going to dig in and see if we can figure out why, but more importantly, do we still have reason for optimism, my fellow basement dwellers? Do we still believe in the story, the thesis, the proof behind silver and gold? And I got a lot of proof to show you today, but we want to approach this with an open mind. Remember, things go up, things go down, but do we believe that as we head through the rest of this year, don't forget, the next 6 months are going to be crazy. Will we be rewarded? Will we be happy that we own physical silver? Maybe you own physical gold. Maybe you own precious metal mining stocks. Let's dig right in. Record volatility. Gosh, remember this, guys. Thank you, Don, for the super chat, my friend. That's part of the game, right? Big moves up, right, are also accompanied by big moves down. So this crazy volatility, while we love it when it goes to the upside, can also happen to the downside. But these big movements often precede big movements to the up, and that's what we want. We want to continue in a bull market. I want to show you, just for review purpose, one of our most important. Oops, here we go. Thank you, Don, for the super chat. Here we go. That's a bear market, okay? That's not what we want to be in. This is a bull market, right? We go up. This is gold, but this could just as well be silver. We go up. We do have downs. We go up. We have some downs. We want to continue in this upward trajectory. Now, when we look at the silver chart, I still wholeheartedly believe, right, that we are in a bull market. I've said this 4 days ago, 5 days ago, a week ago. If we get below 28, 27.50, 28.25, I'll be worried. But we still have a chance, even today, to close above $30, which I think is still indicative of us being in a bull market for the gold price and the silver price. So what blew us away? Do you know what caused all this? We're going to dig into kind of the two big factors that people are pointing to. And are either of these factors legitimate? Should you be concerned about silver and gold when you look at these two factors? The first one was news out of China, which we're going to cover second. The second piece of news that came out that bombarded the silver price and the gold price, yes, bombarded and made our blood pressure all go up, was the great jobs numbers, right? Unbelievable. It's you just got to realize, guys, this is called Bidenomics, and everything is possible in the land of Bidenomics. Okay, just ask Joe. He'll tell you all about it. So the jobs numbers came out better than expected. Do we believe? We aren't going to spend a lot of time on this. The BLS is commonly referred to as the Bureau of Lies and Statistics on Wall Street. We didn't say it. I didn't say it. I wouldn't put our government down or anything like that. Nobody believes the jobs numbers. And furthermore, if you live a life in this country, you know how hard people are working, how hard they're struggling. Here's what I think. I think people are just so desperate for money that they're doing any work possible, and the government counts any kind of job as a job, right? We know all that. But the reality is people are working their tails off just to put, thank you, Ron McAdams, for the super chat, just to put a little food on the table, pay their car insurance bill, but they can't get much further. So people are just having to work. It's a sad, sad situation where the people in the top 5%, 1%, maybe even 10% are leading very, very nice lives. So no, I don't care. That's noise. That was wave one, was the China news pushing down silver and gold. We're going to cover that next. Wave two was the great Bidenomic economic miracle jobs numbers that came out. Let's all have a quick sip of coffee. Okay, guys, I'm back. Okay. This is interesting. This was from Morgan Stanley in regards to, because while the jobs numbers, they have a hard time fudging these numbers. It's going to become harder and harder. But Morgan Stanley said this, and what does this mean for silver and gold as we head through the end of the year? Morgan Stanley said, quote, "We think the Fed will see the rise in unemployment rate." So the unemployment rate actually went up despite the fact that all these wonderful magic jobs were created. Thank you, Kimberly Forbes. Boy, you guys are bringing up my spirits here on on what's a challenging day for us silver and gold investors. But we think the Fed will see the rise in the unemployment rate as a sign of further slackening, further weakening in the economy. Morgan Stanley said that. And old Morgan also sticks with their call for 3 rate cuts later in this year, 2024. We know the Bank of Canada recently cut rates. We know that the European Central Bank just cut rates. How long will it be until the Fed is forced to cut rates, right? I mean, it's all really a bunch of BS because the value, excuse me, of all these currencies is going down, down, down. But nonetheless, right, this great jobs number beat down that we took this morning, in my opinion, is a bunch of BS. I'll just warn you right now. I have a tickle in my throat, so I'm going to be coughing a lot today. Please stick with me, okay? Here we go. China, the next thing. Big news. Horrible for precious metals. This is what caused the overnight beatdown. The Central Bank of China did not buy any gold last month. That news came out, and it was like the floor got pulled out underneath silver and gold. Why did it get that? My question would be, why did it get pulled out of the silver market? Number one, right? So the Chinese Central Bank, they weren't officially buying any silver. But think about this with the gold, okay? Yes, the Chinese Central Bank is important. Are they the absolute critical element of the gold market? No. And think about this. This is key for us to remember when it comes to this gold price. If the Central Bank of China did not buy any gold last month, okay, guess what? We still had all-time highs. We still had a super strong gold price. And that was without last month, May, right? Yeah, May, the Chinese Central Bank buying any gold. We still had record gold prices. Think about it, guys, right? So if the Chinese Central Bank is so critical to a high gold price, well, then why during a month when the Chinese Central Bank didn't buy any gold did we still have a record gold price? Let's go out. Let's do the dirty. Okay, let's just get it out of the way, right? Our friends at Pimbex are going to deliver to us the news on the gold price. So let's go check it out. Let's go see what's going on right now, up to the second. What is happening? Here we go. All right, we're going to refresh this. It could be worse. Hey, silver's only down at $1.94. Gee. And looks like it's still down at $1.94. Okay, so gold above 2,300, 2309.39. Above $2,300 per ounce. Silver, $29.42. Guys, technically, everything is still okay. Are we getting a little more nervous? Yes, this is a horrible day, but technically on the charts, everything is still okay for gold and silver. Look, if gold drops another $100 in the next 2 to 3 weeks, that situation might change. Like we talked about earlier, if silver gets down to $28.50, that situation might change. Right now, I'll tell you this. If you were going to buy some gold or silver yesterday and didn't and waited till today, you can get a much better deal. If you decide to do that, Pimbex graciously sponsors Ron's Basement, makes this video, makes this live stream possible. Check out the deals they have on gold, silver, and platinum group metals. I worked with them before they sponsored the Ron's Basement channel, right? They're a company that I believe in and I've worked with. They always have ultra competitive prices, great selection, and when the boxes show up, I'm telling you, they're wrapped up like Fort Knox. They're fun to open, especially fun because I know there's silver inside the box, and even more fun because I know I got a lot more silver in that box, usually 2 or 3 or 4 additional ounces, as compared to if I bought it from any of the other online bullion dealers. So do yourself a favor, check out Pimbex. Let's talk about this crazy China news. This is going to be fun. Yeah, we're having fun, right? Yeah, sure. On a day when we're getting slaughtered, we can still have fun. Do we still believe? Do you still believe? I do. You have to figure that out for yourself. But let's go to this China news and just look at some interesting things that were brought up. Here, first, from our friends at the Silver Academy. What does this mean to you as a silver investor in particular? The Shanghai price of $36.20, which is real physical. That's what it closed at. Paper price in the West, $29.73. We know it's even lower than that right now. Arbitrage record of 22% or higher, probably 23%. Silver vaults are being drained by the dip. Again, this is the Silver Academy, the Silver Industry Substack. Okay. For each traded contract in Shanghai, metal has to be deposited on a 1-to-1 basis. This is the COMEX. CoinShop Chris was blowing up my text this morning, and I love it. He's like, this is the crooks at the COMEX and the LBMA doing this to the price. Wait till you see some of these other charts I'm going to show you. And guys, the reality is in Shanghai, it's a physical market, right? Metal has to be deposited on a 1-to-1 basis. None of this whatever leverage they have at the COMEX and the LBMA, you hear all kinds of incredible numbers, 400 to 1, 100 to 1. It doesn't matter. They sell all this paper make-believe in the real price of silver in Shanghai, right? There we go. I mean, it's just unbelievable, okay? Watch the silver vault numbers, okay? Once this gets too low, London promissory notes, current leverage, 400 to 1. Wow, just unbelievable. Here's the Shanghai Gold Exchange. Even their silver stocks are getting very, very low. The metal that backs up all the traded gold and so LBMA vault down 66% year to date. COMEX vault down 46% year to date to 60 million ounces. The LBMA has 300 million ounces, and they have billions, guys, billions of paper contracts, paper silver ounce contracts written. It's really incredible. Look at this one. This came from Dave Kranzler, had this on Twitter this morning. This is what happened overnight. This is while we were sleeping, right? He says China closes, leaving just the digital paper gold markets in London and New York City open. So that was right there. And you can see gold was about, getting close to 2,400 per ounce. And then the Shanghai closes. And what happens? Woo, bam. The gold price, of course, gets smashed into the London AM price fix. And it's gone even lower than that now. Then we got it's just incredible what the manipulation that's going on right now. Let's go see our friend Shanghai Ghost, Oriental Ghost. I'm sorry, not Shanghai. New low. Silver vaults, new low, guys. Silver vaults on the Shanghai Futures Exchange on June 7th. The market data for the Shanghai markets, due to the Dragon Boat Festival holiday, the Chinese market was closed tonight and trading reopens on June 11th. Oh, interesting. What a great time for the boys and girls at the COMEX and the LBMA to hand us all a big giant poop sandwich. Here, look, the vaults at the Shanghai Futures Exchange dropped to a new low. Isn't it interesting to you that that the price of silver on the Shanghai Gold Exchange looks like it closed at $35 per ounce? For crying out loud, as my mother would say. Let's look at what, real quickly. Now, silver, $29.40 in the U.S. And silver, $35. We'll just say $35.40 on the Shanghai. I mean, $6? You kidding me? I mean, come on, guys. Am I alone in seeing that these markets are just totally crazy, manipulated right now? I mean, it's unbelievable. But let's look at the headline. Let's look at the headline from about why China about what's going on with China. And this is what they're using as cover for destroying the silver and gold price today. This comes from Forex Live. Gold takes a dip. I'd say gold took a dive on headline that China halts reserve buying after 18-month stretch. The precious metal is now down nearly 1%, which we know that's even worse now. On the day of the headline above, that China is halting its gold buying for reserves after 18-month stretch. For some context, the People's Bank of China is the biggest net buyer of gold last year. So there is some importance to the headline. That being said, I would argue that it does not change the structural outlook for gold in the bigger picture. I would argue that as well. In the short term, though, traders might be spooked by the headline. I mean, gold is still, in my view, overdue for a deeper correction after the surge above 2,400. The early June lows of 2,314 are still in place. So the latest dip here isn't one to signal any major technical breakdown in gold just yet. Yeah. Okay. Look, we're still in good shape with the gold price. We're still in good shape with the silver price. Are we approaching a place where we could start to get nervous? Yes. Hopefully what we want to see happen, right? Are you selling gold? I'll ask you, are you selling silver? I'm not. Right? Honestly, I'm not buying either. But what we want to see happening, this is the way it works, right? Right now, when we get these drawdowns, is that the weak hands, the chicken littles, the ones who get spooked, the people who trade based on their emotions, that they sell and they get out. And those people are replaced with strong-handed people who are buying silver, buying gold, buying the precious metal mining stocks, and intend to hold them on a long-term basis. They aren't just trying to make a quick trade or a quick buck or whatever it is, right? So those people are getting washed out and they're being replaced by strong-handed people that have a strong conviction for the story behind silver, for the story behind gold. Is that you? That is me, right? But is that you? That's a question you have to answer for yourself. I'll never tell you what to do. I'm not giving financial advice. I will give a piece of financial advice, however, if you're looking to buy, let's say, some silver. All right. This I can tell you 100%, and I don't mind saying it. If you were going to buy silver yesterday, but you waited a day to buy it today, you're getting a much better deal. Buy. Okay. But never use a credit card. Always use prudence. But that I can say for sure, right? You are getting a better price today on silver or gold or platinum, for that matter, than you would have gotten yesterday. Let's look at the crazy. I had a whole live stream prepared, and then all this happened. But I do want to show you this from yesterday, right? We're seeing. Let's look at something happy. Okay. This is from yesterday. The silver price was up, like $1.25 yesterday? This came from Wall Street Silver. The empire strikes back, or the empire takes a hit, I'm sorry, right? Meaning the guys at the COMEX and the LBMA. High volume, almost 6,000 contracts, almost 30 million ounces in 15 minutes did the damage. Silver to the moon, right? Look at that. So what this tells us, guys, is days like today where there's high volume manipulation, sell-offs, it can also go to the upside. This is a key. This is something fun. It's someday I really hope to meet Rick Rule. You know who Rick Rule is, right? He said like 3 or 4 things that I think are brilliant. So what we just looked at right there, right? Yesterday, I wish today was like yesterday, don't you? Right? We had a wonderful day in the silver price. Big, massive up volume in the silver price. Here's a little secret that I learned from listening to Rick Rule. He said, and I'm not quoting him here, but this is how I understand what he said. He said that these manipulators of the silver market, right, over the last number of years, they had an easier time manipulating the price down. That was the path of least resistance. As things change, like we showed earlier, right, the vaults not having hardly any inventory in them, right? The Shanghai Gold Exchange, the physical market for silver, $6 an ounce higher, $4 an ounce higher, whatever. Okay. The path of least resistance for the silver price and the gold price will change to the upside. And those traders, those nasty manipulators that mess with the price of silver and gold, right? The people that are trying to make a quick buck at the COMEX and the LBMA, they can switch sides real easily. They can suddenly become people who are trying to push the price of silver, push the price of gold upward. Guess what? Right? We like to, look, we're not, are you a whiner? Are you a complainer? Don't ask Susie about me on that question. Nonetheless, we can whine. I'll speak for myself. I can whine and complain about, the COMEX and the LBMA manipulate, tamp the price down. And I do believe that there have been people who've spent their lives talking about that. But what about when they manipulate the price to the upside? Are we going to complain about that? And that could very well happen. That could very well happen very soon. If there's a short squeeze and people jump onto that, these traders will make a buck either way. They don't care. Okay. They could become our temporary friends. We're not traders. We're long-term holders of the precious metals, but nonetheless, how about this? Do you have a question about gold? Huh? Do you have any idea? Buttercup? Today's buckle up Buttercup, right? We say that all the time. I'll show you guys an original picture, the original Buttercup, but you're the butter. We're Buttercups today. It's time for us to buckle up. Today's one of those days where, look, we talked about it, guys. There's going to be choppy waters in the silver and gold arena. On the ocean of silver and gold, we're experiencing a little bad weather. Time for us to, a little turbulence on the Rod's basement. 737 is what it feels like today. The wind, the side panel just popped off, right? We're hitting some turbulence. But think about this. This will make you feel a little warm and fuzzy. I'm your captain, Captain Ron, reporting to you that we have something to feel good about the silver and gold. Believe it or not today. And I'm going to show you a picture here in just 1 second that will do just that. Okay? Because one thing we know, and this is true for silver as well. It's true for silver. But one thing we know, that one of the cornerstones of precious metal investing is that the scarcity, the finite amount of the metal. So I'm going to ask you a question. Do you know visually how big all the gold in the world that was mined during the first quarter of 2024, how big that would be? Do you know how big that would be? All the gold in the world that was mined during the months of January, February, and March. I'm going to show you right now. And I want you to think about, when you look at this, the fact that that's all the gold in 3 months from all the gold mines. And why gold? And this applies to silver as well. Sorry, I don't have a visual for silver, but this applies for silver as well. Let's go take a look. Without any further ado, let's see if I can find it right off the bat. Here it is. Here it is. This comes from Mining Visuals, gold production in Q1, visualizing the total amount produced. Here we go. We're going down. Oh my gosh. Think about this. This is all the gold produced in the entire world. Okay. It is the top 16 gold miners produced almost 8 million ounces in the first quarter. To visualize this quantity, imagine combining all the gold into one single cube. The 8 million ounce of gold would weigh approximately whatever grams. This amount of gold would have a volume of about whatever centimeters. Consequently, the side lengths of the cube containing this gold would be approximately 234 centimeters, or about 2.3 meters. So that's about, what's 2.3 meters? I don't know, about 8 feet. That's like an 8 foot long, 8 foot high. There's people to give you an idea. 8 foot high, 8 foot, like a cube. That's all the gold in the world. Well, from the 16 biggest miners. So it's a lion's share. I didn't realize it was just the 16 biggest miners, but nonetheless, that's why we own gold. I wonder how big the cube for silver would be. How big do you think the cube for silver would be? I'd be curious if anybody finds that data. I'd be really interested to see it. Obviously the silver. Well, we know. Hold on. Wait. Whoa. Stop the presses. Stop the presses. We know, guys, right? We know how much silver. Thank you, Lizard. Super sticker, my friend. Let's get him up there, Mr. J Lizard. So we know how much silver was produced. For each 1 ounce of gold, there's 7 ounces of silver. So what did I say? We'll say about 2 meters. That would be, silver would be about, 7 times bigger. Not a lot of silver, right? Maybe the size of like a small house. All the silver in the world. Uh-oh. Somebody was calling me. Sorry about that. Thank you for the super chat. All right. So that should make us feel good. We know there's only so much gold in the world, only so much silver in the world, right? This thing, that's an American silver eagle. That's the show and tell coin of the day, right? That's an ounce of silver. There's only so much. Pick up one of your ounces right now. Hold it in your hand. There's only so much in the world, okay? Silver, this is something else staggering about silver. Silver's strange. You want to know why silver's strange? I wrote this out for you. Because it's both a monetary and an industrial metal, but that's not it. That's not the real strange thing. I heard this last night. We never talk about this, guys, and this is critical. Only 16% of the supply of silver comes from silver mines. Only 16%. So if we are correct, and I think we are, I think you're right, I think I'm right, we love silver, we love gold too, but we love silver. If we're right in the demand, remember yesterday we talked about this unbelievable amount of demand right now for silver from solar alone. It's mind-numbing. Go back and watch yesterday's live stream if you want to learn more about that. So, but if we're right, and this demand continues, which we're right, don't worry, we're right, and the price continues up, right? We'll go off the Shanghai. Silver's $35 an ounce right now. We'll believe the physical market in Shanghai. Guess what? If silver goes to $50, $60, $80 an ounce, only 16% of the world's silver comes from silver mines. 16%. That's like 1 out of 9 ounces. Or whatever, 1 out of 8, I don't know, whatever that is, 1 out of 6, 1 out of 7. What the point is, whether when we get the skyrocket demand, when we get the skyrocket price, there aren't silver mines that they can turn on. There aren't these silver. The other thing you got to realize is these silver mines, number one, they haven't been investing in their pipeline because there's no money for them. Okay, number two, even crazier to think about is the fact that silver miners have been high grading for years. High grading means when you got a mine, you know there's certain sections that have better grade material, more silver in it, okay? And when the price is low and you're trying to just survive, what these silver miners generally do is high grade their mines. They go get the best ore so that they can get as much silver as they can just so they can pay the bill. So silver is strange, okay? It is really is in a very unique position. We love gold, we love platinum, but man, I think silver, when you look at what's going on, I mean, the solar stuff is mind-blowing, but again, we talked about that yesterday. Is there big money to be made in mining stocks? Let's go check that out. You know what? First, I got something great for you to share as well. This came from Don the Brain, the one and only Donnie the Brain, right? He's our brain, and over across the river from me. Where is it? Here it is. Right? Yep, there we go. Let me make sure you guys can see that. Yeah, can you see me? Here we go. Yep. Okay, hold on. This is from Don the Brain. This says it all. This is a Biden advisor, and that's the new president of Mexico. Because remember, Mexico's become anti-mining, trying to outlaw open pit mining. Mexico's where the majority of the world's silver comes from. Anyway, this is what they're talking about. We don't need your silver and gold mines anymore, right? That's the Biden advisor talking to Mexico. Now people get their silver and gold from Costco. I mean, Really, nothing's out of the realm of possibility, right? What they think of the Biden administration, they're like, we don't need silver and gold mining. You can go buy silver and gold at Costco. Well, where do you think it comes from? And that's what Don the Brain was talking about with me, because maybe you invest in precious metal mining stocks. I do. I felt the pain, baby. And I don't even want to look at my portfolio today. If you're having pain, Big Ronnie here in the basement's with you. We'll be okay, right? But Don the Brain was talking about the fact that there's a big disconnect. And this can be critical for the price of the metals as well, okay? But there's this massive disconnect between the metals prices, right? $29.50 silver is still good. Hopefully we'll hold $29, right? $2,300 gold is still awesome. Remember, just back in October of last year, we were at $1,900 gold. We'd be having a party if I had told you that on Halloween, that in 6 months, gold would be at $2,300 an ounce. You would have thought I was crazy for saying it, right? Now, nonetheless, there's this gold and silver have done very well. There's this massive disconnect between the metals and the miners. This not only applies and is not only a good, most people don't think about the stuff that we think about, but you're smarter than the average bear, right? There's a bear right there. First Mining Gold, channel sponsor. You can check them out at firstmininggold.com. Nonetheless, oh, hold on. Susie has a request. There we go. Nonetheless, okay, this disconnect between the mining companies and the metals price, that the people aren't putting two and two together like, oh, we love silver and gold, but we don't know where it comes from. Like those people in the Biden administration. Well, I thought silver and gold came from Costco. Oh, you can buy it with my membership, right? No. Silver and gold comes from silver and gold mines. And that's actually the real value in that the world hasn't put that together yet. Okay. Now, that could spell big, big returns for the mining stocks. Look, I'll be honest. I hope so, because I got a lot of money in precious metal mining stocks. And it's not been a real fun ride for those of us who've been in this for the last 2 or 3 years. But I believe in it. I believe in the value. Now, what does it mean for the metals prices? It's good for it's like a self-feeding tornado spiral, because the fact that there's not money in these metals, that means these miners have not been able to invest in their exploration. They've not been able to find new metals. Their pipeline is running dry. And when the pipeline runs dry and there's no more supply because China's taken all of it, right? And the Biden administration says, oh, we need more silver. We need more copper. We want gold, right? Well, and Biden sends out one of his top advisors, say, go to Costco and buy some silver. He's going to get to Costco and they're like, we don't have silver anymore. We don't have gold. We never had copper. But you know what I'm saying, right? When people wake, it could be like a double whammy, bajammy. I can't think of a good way to say it, but it'd be like it's like a double positive for not only the mining stocks, but also for the metals prices themselves, because when there's no more supply left, where are they going to get it from? Huh? They can't get it at Costco, right? Sorry, I digress. Thank you, Don, for bringing that up. Here, let's see what our old friend Niels is saying. Well, you know what? Hold on. Let's look at this. This will show you right here. Okay? Precious metals, right? There's the metals prices. Hold on. There's the metals prices. Okay? The senior miners, they kind of been keeping up. They should be way higher, okay? The junior miners are way down. I mean, it really, guys, is absolutely crazy. That's our former president lamenting that he feels like a loser because he let the Federal Reserve. Those are people in China lined up to buy gold. Let's just get through here. That's a restaurant by my house that closed. That's me at Six Flags with my I Love Silver shirt on. That's the COMEX. Hold on. What I want to show you here. Come on. I will talk about that another day. That's the cup and handle. That's the cup and handle. Where is it? There it is. Okay, this shows visually, right, guys? 1990 on the left. Look at all the gold that was discovered. But look, between 1990 and through present time, how the big yellow lines are the millions of ounces of gold discovered each year. It goes from the left to the right over 25 years, and it goes straight down to almost nothing. And the black line is the amount of money, billions of dollars spent on exploration. You can see it starts going up, but they can't find more gold. And the same is true with silver. Oh, I don't even want to know what the next one is. There. This shows us the only people buying silver and gold right now, physical, is China, right? But they're not buying mining stocks. In the USA and the West, they're not buying anything either. I digress. Let's get back on track here, guys. Let's get back on. What? You know what? Nope. Hold on. There we go. You know what? Here, right? Housing inventory crashing. 1% of ETF assets are in gold and silver. That's been as high as 7%. That came from my friend Jordan Roy Byrne. That's the COMEX. You guys have cicadas where you live? We got them everywhere here. All the ones by my house have COMEX written across them. Those bugs. That's the M2 money supply. Okay. All right. There we go. I have no idea what that is. Let's go see what Niels has to say. All right. And here we go. Niels at Kitco. Gold prices will set new record highs in the second half of 2024. That came from Metals Focus. So is this just a lot of people were calling for a short-term pullback. Is that what we're having today? Look, that's what it feels like to me. How does it feel to you, right? The painful days are necessary, but it helps us consolidate the price, build a platform, a strong platform from which we can shoot even higher, okay? In their weekly note published Thursdays, analysts at Metals Focus said that the eventual monetary policy easing from the Fed will drive gold prices higher in the second half of the year. Later this year, we expect prices to rise again with a new all-time high likely, said Neil Meter, director of gold and silver at Metals Focus. After all, the recent peak at $24.50 per ounce is lower in real terms than the 1981, which would have been around $3,000 when you adjust the 1980 price for the inflation that's occurred since then. So really, right, in nominal terms, just pure number terms, sure, we hit an all-time high. But in real terms, when you adjust the 1980 high for the inflation that we've had, we really need to get above $3,000, okay? With a new record peak in sight. Sorry about that. Metals Focus expects gold prices to average around $22.50 for the year. Let's go see what Niels. Thank you, Niels. You got a double header of Niels Christensen. I love the guy at Kitco. It's still early as gold and silver miners have their day in the sun. Okay, that's according to Crowriera. Gold and silver prices continue to consolidate around critical psychological levels. That's what we want to see happening today. But the uptrend remains on solid footing as investors look for value through the entire sector, including the mining industry. Okay. Silver's breakout rally. Okay. I said that gold's ability to hold near record highs and silver's breakout rally above $30 an ounce this year is finally starting to attract the attention of generalist investors. Now, why is that good? Again, right? This is something nobody else talks about as well. But when we start to get generalist investors noticing the mining stocks, guess what else they're going to think about? They're going to think about the physical metal as well. They kind of feed off each other, okay? I'm not saying, that there's a one-to-one relationship, but generally speaking, if you get a new basement dweller joins us, and maybe they join because they want to buy mining stocks. Well, as they're looking at the mining stocks, the thought will cross their minds, maybe I should buy some physical silver. Maybe I should buy some physical gold, okay? Let's just look at this very quickly. Price to book ratio. This is how cheap gold mining stocks are. is a rough proxy for valuation. Going back to 2011, the price-to-book ratio of both the S&P and the miners were about the same, trading around 2 times their value. Currently, the S&P 500 is trading around 5 times its book value. Okay, that means the valuation of the overall companies on the S&P 500 is 5 times what the actual book value of the companies are. That's super high, by the way. Whereas the miners are below 2 at 1.9. So there's a significant difference between the market's valuation and the miners. He said that's a long way to say I think there's more to run in both the gold miners and also the silver miners. Okay. Are we in for a summer of doom? Let's take a look at this quickly. Let's go out. Thank you guys for being here. Hold on. Let's go out and look. Let's do an update on the gold and silver price. Let's see if we broke $2 down in silver. Oh, unbelievable. $1.99. Well, they're trying, right? $70 down in the gold price to $2,307. Silver, $29.37. Woof. What a day. Those guys at the COMEX and the LBMA, my hat's off to them. They're giving it all she's got. Okay. Is the economy doomed? Right. Let's look at a couple quick articles. This is getting super interesting. And we've talked about how in the next 5.5 months, up to the election day, that's D-Day for me. And I'll come down here and tell you I'm dead wrong. But we are headed into a very difficult period in this country, in the United States. That's my opinion. Absolutely, I could be wrong. Maybe everything will be rosy. Bidenomics will cure all evils. I don't know. But when I look at everything going on, I'm darn right scared about what the next 5.5 months, not petrified, but a little concerned about what we might be facing in this country. Okay. Even though the jobs numbers were great today. Yeah, whatever. All right. So what's CNN telling us? Let's see what CNN says. CNN is trying to get me to sign up for something, which I'm not interested in. Okay. People are exiting the stock market in droves. Okay. The summer months are usually relatively benign for markets as investors opt for sandbars, blah, blah, blah. The U.S. stock market is shrinking and investors are pulling their money out at near record pace as storm clouds gather over the U.S. economy. Is CNN, the children's news network, actually saying this? That means, the Titans of Wall Street may have to contend with choppy water as they cruise toward their Nantucket getaways this year. Sell in May and go away, blah, blah, blah. But recent trading flows show that something larger is at play this year. Bank of America analysts said that Tuesday that their clients have now been large net sellers of U.S. stocks for 5 weeks in a row. Just last week, they sold off almost $6 billion more in stocks than they purchased, the highest outflow since last July. Okay. Low volume, eventful markets. That means the tides appear to have shifted and the usual summer doldrums are nowhere to be found. Summer of 2024 may prove volatile with momentum stalling amid policy uncertainty, wrote Morgan Stanley Wealth Management Chief Lisa Chatlet. Okay. Economic cross currents have left the Federal Reserve more tentative regarding rate cuts, amplifying the potential significance of each data point as debate continues over the degree of policy restriction. Okay, what this means, guys, what this means in layman terms, right? Everything's screwed up. Everything in this economy has been so manipulated, is so synthetic. Everything is synthetic. There's so much debt. There's so much credit. Right? Remember Exter's pyramid? Right? I could pull it up for you, but you know what it looks like. Silver and gold are the only real things out there. Everything else is synthetic, electronic, derivatives, credit, paper, whatever, but not real. Make-believe. It's all been based on make-believe. And now the hens are coming home to roost. Yeah, this guy, let's bring him out. It's been about a week. He needs a little air. Him, right? Yeah. Yeah, he's confused. He's scared. right? That's our friend Jerome Powell at the Federal Reserve. They're going to tell you everything's great. Everything's wonderful, right? Who do you think? Who's always saying, oh, everything's great. Everything's wonderful. I don't know why. Here. She's in a pretty box. We're not allowed to feed her, but her, right? She's always, there she is. Hi, everybody. Everything's great, America. Everything's wonderful. Yeah, she used to be the head of the Federal Reserve. Now she's the head of the Treasury. Everything's synthetic, guys. Everything's fake and phony. Okay, look at this. Right? And what else? And you're not the only ones that knows this. I got news for you. Do you realize a majority of the world knows this? This little organization called the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, right? Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the United Arab Emirates, and like a zillion other countries that want to join. These countries that control a lion's share of the world's resources, the world population. Oh, and interestingly enough, they also represent the lion's share of new people coming into the consumer class, right? Oh, right. They've got a different perspective on things than we do here, because they're explicitly saying, right? And there's this big news story. It's going around. Some people say it's being not talked about enough. Let's say that the Saudi Arabians are officially walking away from the petrodollar agreement this weekend. Anyway, everybody else out there is saying no more. We're done. Cowbell. Thank you, Susie. Yeah, the Susie, you might see her here. She's taking a nap today because I can't get the walkie-talkie to work. I got to ring the cowbell for you basement dwellers. That's for 200 thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you to almost 750 of you here today on the live stream. But it's all fake. It's all phony. It's all unicorn fart dust. It's all paper, Bob, whatever, right? Remember, thousands of years, silver and gold have been real. They've been the base. They're God's money, right? They're Mother Nature's money. They're the planet money. They're the only form of value. What other form of, there's other things that have held their value, right? Land, whatever. But really, gold and silver are the only things that have held their value for these thousands and thousands of years, okay? So let's take a look at this. One more. Oops. All right, here we go. This comes from Bo Ronnie, and my old college roommate Sean sent this over. Okay, business debt accounts for, this is just a visual to show you how much debt there is, but there's another component of this that we need to think about. Okay, all right, 315. Can I make that smaller? Hold on, I want to make sure you can see the whole thing, guys. No, I do not want your app. All right, hold on. All right, here we go. This should work. $315 trillion in global debt. That's the red over here. That's all the red. Business debt, 165 trillion. Government debt, the United States takes up over a third of that, 91 trillion. Household debt, 60 trillion. You add it all together and you get 315 trillion, okay? Over here, the green, that's the global GDP. Let me tell you something. It's been a mathematical certainty throughout history that anytime debt exceeded GDP by more than 120%, there's a major crash, there's a major depression, there's a major reset, okay? At this point, we're probably getting close to 300% debt to GDP in the world. It's going to be interesting. Hey, look, today's one of those days for silver and gold investors. Let's hang in there. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate your support of the channel. Please support the channel sponsors, right? Don't forget, we have Pimbex if you need to get your hands on some silver, gold, or platinum. First Mining Gold and our friends at Fortuna Silver, who are now both a gold and silver mining company. hang in there. Okay. We got reason to be optimistic. I appreciate you being here. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.